This is Eagle Exchange coming to you from the Center for Workforce Development here at Rockingham Community College. I am Randy Hunt, Director of the Small Business Center. My guest today is Alecia Gaines, and she is the Director of College and Career Readiness. Alecia, welcome to Eagle Exchange.
Thank you, Randy. It's a pleasure to be here.
So we'll mix it up and do it a little bit differently, and so we can get to know you better.
Okay.
Let's assume you weren't at Rockingham Community College today. Where would we likely find you?
Well, there are several places I'd like to be. A day like today, I would probably be up near Pilot Mountain. I do climb. I climb mountains every now and then, and more than just the theoretical kind. Just that I go up to Pilot Mountain and I go up to the top of the hill and spend maybe a few hours, and then I come back down and go home.
Well, that's a perfect segue into my second question. What is something that your students or colleagues wouldn't know about you?
Oh, well, they don't know, or they could probably make some good assumptions that I'm a lifelong educator. I've been educating or being in higher ed and in all kinds of educational opportunities for 25 years.
Okay.
I started out with owning my own business. I had a bookstore in Greensboro for almost 4 years. It's called the Living Room Book and Pastry. It's a little bitty small bookstore. Was registered with Southeastern Booksellers. Enjoyed that part of my life. And then I worked with Head Start with the parents for a number of years, about 13 years or so, where I was a parent educator. And so that leads me to tell you that I've always been an educator for adults. I did a little stint in some of the high schools, but I found my calling in the community college system. So it led me here, thankfully.
So tell me more. Did you lead the path, or did the path lead you toward education?
The path led me with the guiding spirit of my mother. My mother was also an educator, but she was a sociology major at Avila College in Kansas. And her strength and her wanting to be around people and teaching actually made her go into a career in corrections.
Okay.
My mother was a corrections officer for 25 years, and she saw many people in that environment that didn't have great experiences in education. Maybe they dropped out. Maybe they had other things that were going on with them. So she was always an educator. And that part of her life I always looked at as the part that I would want to follow. Generous, giving people an opportunity to learn as much as they could learn. And being there for folks and developing relationships. So the educator in me, starting out with Head Start, educating parents to be their child's first teacher, led me to this part of my life where I'm in the community college. And I've been since early 2014. So it's been about maybe 12, 13 years.
So tell me about your first job and what did it teach you?
Oh, my first job. Well, who hasn't worked in a fast food restaurant for their first job?
That'll teach you a lot, won't it?
And you could tell I'm a little tall person. So my first job was at a pancake house. And so my mom, I was a freshman in high school. And I wanted to have a little independence, and so my mom said, well, you're going to get a job. So my mom decided to take me up to the counter and said, she needs a job. Can she fill out an application? And first thing they ask is, how old is she? She says, before I get a chance to tell them I'm 15, she's 16. So anyway, I did get the job as a waitress and had an opportunity to memorize the long menu options where you're taking orders. And at 15, you weren't supposed to work, over midnight, at midnight, but the crowds were busy and I was good at what I do. So they took liberties, and not offense to the restaurant. I wanted to work the hours. Well, anyway, that first job, I worked almost 2 weeks doing a 3 to midnight, sometimes 3 to 3 a.m. shift. And after midnight, my grandmother, who's a long soul from Birmingham, Alabama, would say, she says, Nikki, nothing good ever happens after midnight. And she's absolutely right. So earlier in my first job career, I had the hooligans and the folks who just weren't really in their right minds after midnight. And so a customer got angry with me, and let's say that I quit the very next day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had to quit the next day. And I had the support of my mom, but the schedule was getting long and it was interfering with my school. So I had to go back to school and stay in high school.
Well, if you're working till 3 a.m. and then you've got to go home and decompress.
And all the things.
And then turn right around and get right back up.
All of the things.
Right.
All the things. But I tell you what, that taught me how to work with people and where I am now. And taking that experience, and I tell that to whoever would listen. I got a captive audience in you right now, but whoever would listen to that kind of, you go through things in order to find things that are a little better for you. And so I know what I don't want to do. And if push came to shove, I know how to do it. It's better to know how to do it than not know how to do it and be in a situation where you're just unfamiliar.
Well, it also teaches you what you'll tolerate in this world.
And what you'll tolerate, exactly, from adults.
Right.
So, that's, and as a teenager, that's what, I recognized that I had to put on my big girl clothes and be able to be in situations that would be tough. And so that's where I am.
Okay. So here you are as college and career readiness director. Tell us about your journey getting here.
Oh,
and I don't mean the drive across campus.
Well, drive across. That is a drive. And I have learned to walk the campus too, which I will be doing a lot more of, because Rockingham Community College is one of the most gorgeous small college campuses in the state. We have a gorgeous campus. So don't be afraid to walk across campus. But thankfully, what brought me here is a journey in the community college system. I started out in Guilford County, and I went through the gambit of what we call adult education. I've worked with what formerly known as compensatory ed, but it's working with challenges in pre-literacy. I did the English as a second language classes. Si habla español un poquito. I also worked in what we call the Basic Skills Plus program at the college in Guilford, and started out with the aviation to our Basic Skills Plus to aviation, Basic Skills Plus culinary, all of these classes that put me into where I was teaching. So I've always been teaching, getting to know the students, meeting them where they are. It honed my skills. And I actually had a friend who worked in college and career readiness, and I asked her, I said, I love where I am, but are there opportunities at Rockingham Community College that I can explore? Instead of them finding places for me, I need a place to land. And there's another aviation pun, I'm sorry. But my father's a pilot, by the way, so that's why I was going to. So she said, well, apply, and I will put in a good word, and we'll see what we can do. And lo and behold, she did, and I got to interview with several people in the English department, with Tim Parrish and Daniel Pruitt and some other folks that are already on campus. So I got to know them first. So I did transition English. I did the transition classes as a RISE class. I think that's what they were called, and these experiments in developmental education. And so I taught the RISE English class, and the heart of the pandemic.
Oh, yes. Good times.
Good times, good times. So they took a chance on me, and I took a chance on Rockingham. So they were looking to make sure we had some in-person classes. I have never intimidated by a classroom, people, or a situation. So in the fall of 2020, I had one of my first classes in the, where was I? In the ADT building. I was in one of the first in the ADT building. Where I'm coming home, ADT, by the way, and taught a transition English class there and loved it because the students they were engaged. They wanted to learn, and we had a curriculum that we were using. So I had a curriculum, but I also used life experiences. And so the life experiences and taking those, my experiences and the students' experiences, that's where you get an even exchange of ideas. So those first years, I suppose, where we had the partitions, and they were thinking of all these PPEs that you could use to protect yourself. And, you know, the pandemic was a scary thing. I'm not trying to diminish it. They were, you know, people were afraid to come to class when you didn't have proper ventilation or any of those kinds of things. But I never wavered. I said, put me in there. And the students wore masks. I wore my mask. My face got hot. We even had, and I kept my my apparatus, the big wide sneeze guard.
Yes.
That was an investment. And so I'm thankful that a college or a school wanted to do that. They wanted to invest in protecting their people. And so I wore that and for a while, even as we were all engaging. And it had challenges of its own. Sure, we had challenges, but at the same time, learning went on, right? Learning kept going. So 2020, I was doing transition English classes, and at the same time, because I was an adjunct, so I had part-time hours during the day, and I would teach a couple of classes at night in CCR. So I learned the co-teaching model. So you're with your colleagues, you're in a classroom and you're co-teaching. And then, by the way, I did go to North Carolina State to do teaching and adult education. And we can go about that in just a minute.
Okay. Yeah, we can get technical here.
We will get technical a little bit, but so I've been in every single kind of teaching environment that you can imagine. And including industrial arts in high school. So when I taught that class, so there's a whole gambit of skill sets that go into teaching adults. And finally, I believe in 2022, I went to CCR for good and taught day and night classes there, and was eventually hired as an instructional specialist. And
CCR, Carteret Community?
I'm sorry, we're using acronyms. College and Career Readiness.
Oh, okay, thank you.
College and Career Readiness at RCC, Rockingham Community College. So College and Career Readiness. And yes, there's a lot of, now the times are changing where we're investigating a lot of changes in how we are addressing ourselves. As I know, it's always been College and Career Readiness, but some other colleges will have names like Transition Studies. I do like the name Academic and Career Readiness. Those are to differentiate some of the other acronyms we have flying. Most likely we get confused with College and Career Promise, and that's another program that we have here with great people and a great director. But so far, right now, College and Career Readiness is that adult education program specifically geared for adult basic skills, foundational skills, and helping adults get their high school equivalency diploma.
Okay.
That's IEGED. GED has become a name just like Jello. You know, it's just it's a what do you call that when the name takes over the actual product. You know, Jello was a name developed by, I think, Nestle company back a long, long time ago, and it kicked. So every product is called Jello, whoever, no matter whomever makes it. Well, kind of in the same situation, general education development has the GED. So it's just easier to remember than HSE or high school equivalency diploma, but there are actually two assessments that we used for students to get that high school diploma.
Now, what sort of opportunities does your department provide for students, young students and adults alike?
Oh, what do we provide? We provide opportunities for students to learn at their own pace. When we talk about the college and career readiness, we want our students to be prepared to go to college. Now, I've heard the term feeder programs. Well, most times we have students who are interested in going beyond just getting their GED or their high set diploma. They want to go on to study, get a short-term certificate. They may want to go ahead and do a 2-year degree. And our speaker for this year's graduation is one such student. I digress, but I'm so very proud of her because she started out in the GED program a short 4 years ago, and now she's graduated. She's part of the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society, and so she's going to be our class speaker this year.
Wow.
Just over the moon. But what do we offer? We offer relationships.
Okay.
I'll get back to that word. With the high school equivalency diploma, you are working with students. They have to be, if they're 16, it's 16 and over, 16-year-olds, because we have some are homeschooled, that come, but they have to sign a minor release form. We do minor release forms, and that the schools release them from that. But they don't serve as a majority of our students. We don't have a majority of minors that require release forms. Most of our students are in between the ages of 17 and 35. So these are adults, and adults who have life experiences beyond what a typical high schooler would have. These are, if they're young people, they're on their own. They are living in situations where they've had to mature quickly. We have young mothers, we have young fathers, we have grandparents. Another one of my speakers is a grandparent, and she decided to return to school in her 70s.
Wow.
So she's going to be graduating, and I've also invited her to speak. So our graduation with the CCR, College and Career Readiness, is just a wonderful mix of people who want to learn, who enjoy education, and my instructors are that way. Now, CCR, we share it. We have a budget with RCC, but it's no secret that the funding program, the funding model is not quite the same. But we have teachers who love teaching, just like me. I love teaching, and so I go every day. I wake up, and I can tell you, Randy, I have never woken up one day, and I can shout this to the mountaintops. I've never had one day where I wake up in the morning and say, "Oh, I don't want to be here." You roll over the covers and you see outside and it's raining or snowing or something like that, and you say, "Oh, I don't want to go to work." I've never had one day. Never one. Now, I can't speak for you or anybody in the audience, but I've had never one day, because when you find what you want to do, you do it.
Right.
You find it, and so we're building a community. We have a community over there. We don't have very many students. I think we've seen about 216 students so far this year But
Speaking of community, how does your work impact Rockingham County?
oh my, how do we get Rockingham County becomes a better place when its population is educated. Now, I don't say that in an offensive way, because we have education. There's a variety, people we do. You have folks in this rural county that know how to do things. They know how to do things. And so when you become a student with our CCR program, we just provide some of the book knowledge. The GED is an opportunity, or the high school diploma is an opportunity. It's a milestone. You get to finish, and it's a gateway, because a lot of employers, do you have, it's on the application, do you have your high school diploma or your GED? Well, we want to provide that high set. We want to give that exam, that person that opportunity to do that. What else? What I found out is that 11.6% of Rockingham County, there are people that don't have, they have less than a high school diploma.
Wow.
Less than high school diploma, 11.6%, which is up from 11.3%, I think a year or two ago, but down from 12% when I first started. So it's a downward trend, but there are people, there's a population of folks that we want to make sure we invite in to finish your school. Go ahead. It's not as intimidating as you think. And we offer a lot of opportunities. It's not just an 8 to 1 opportunity for you to go to class. We have lots of classes. We might talk about that later on if you want to. I'm following you. I talk a lot. So.
Sure, that's great. I don't have to drag anything out of you, so I appreciate that. So do you have a student success story that really sticks out in your mind?
Oh, where do I start? There are, from my experience being even as an instructional specialist, during that time in my career with CCR, as an interim director and now a current director, there are highlights that are littered throughout. So I mentioned the student who started at age 70 when I walked in, or coming into work one morning, and she met me and in the parking lot, and I said good morning, and she says good morning, and I said, oh, I'm glad to see you, and you're glad to see me, and we didn't know each other first time, and so she walks in, and I said, are you one of the new instructors? I said, I knew we had some new instructors, and she says, oh no, darling, I'm here to get my GED. So that sparked a relationship with this woman who's going to share part of her story at our graduation. But to know that there is her as an adult that saw it was so important to her that she finished her high school diploma, that she stuck through it for 3.5 years.
Wow.
3.5 years. Now, I don't know about you, and I don't want to disparage the math, but mathematics and I don't get along very well. And math teachers will tell you, and I know, Nadine, you're probably watching this, math people will tell you, and my supervisor, Celeste, there's just a different kind of love for math. Now, I can teach math, but there are people who know how to embrace math. And she needed to know how, the person I'm talking about with the memorable student, she needed to embrace math. And it took her a while to embrace it, but she finally did. And when she did, it was like 4th of July.
Wow.
Another story, just one more. As a student, while I was an instructional specialist, young man who had been going through a lot of physical challenges, physical. He had physical ailments that would keep him out of class weeks at a time. And whenever he would come back, the class would embrace him. So this one individual would come in, and we were glad to see him. He had fought a battle with his illness, and he would come back in. We would embrace him again. Well, this had been going on for 10 years. He would start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. And I was just thankful to be during my tenure there. And while I'm there, he finished his high school diploma program. And he was a speaker a couple years ago. But his story resonated with me. And it's all about perseverance, resilience. Those are just two examples, Randy, of someone who saw to it that, yes, I'm starting at the bottom, in my educational journey, I'm at the beginning. It's not the bottom, it's the beginning. And I'm building up from that, right? Two magical individuals who spent a lot of time at this level. But when they arose from that high school diploma, it meant so much. And we want to keep that kind of enthusiasm as they go into the college, because you get those individuals who already have inner resilience. They already have the perseverance. Now they're working on trying to get those relationships with with new instructors and relationships with the community. And wherever they need to go, it starts where we are in college and career readiness.
Wow. Well, Alicia, we're about to run out of time, but
Are we running out of time?
Yeah, it's crunch time.
Okay.
But I do want to thank you for the impact that you've made on the college and our community, and thank you for joining us on Eagle Exchange.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us.